My best friend left me out of her bridal party because I was overweight and her mother thought that would limit bridesmaid dress choices and throw the wedding photos off. That is not a best friend. I just want you to know that that is not your best friend. I'm so sorry. That is so disgusting. Like that behavior. I would not even attend that wedding. We don't body shame here. What the? Ruin? Throw the photos off? That pisses me right off. The bride kicked the groom's best friend out of the wedding because he lived with his girlfriend and she wanted her entire wedding party to be pure. How is that not pure? I'm confused, as in like everyone had to be freaking virgins up there? Is that what you're saying to me right now? I'm surprised the groom let that happen. Shame on the groom for allowing his best friend to be kicked out of the wedding for that. I would not make that woman my wife if that's what's happening. That's crazy. How does that affect your wedding day? I'll be damned. As we are talking about wedding stories, should I share the time bride of a destination wedding asked me for money the morning after the wedding? What? Bride of a destination wedding asked me for money the morning after the wedding. That's really uncomfortable. Like you couldn't have waited till the following week, even like 3 days after the wedding, anything? Oh my God, like, but what are they asking money for exactly? Like for the wedding? What is going on, guys? Welcome back. I am Sassy and we are checking out some sassy freaking brides. These are brides who act like Karen on their wedding day. Oof, who wants to marry a Karen? Make sure you guys leave a like on this video because it really helps me out, and let's get to it. Father of the bride had a heart attack, and as he was being carried out on the stretcher, the bride yells, "How could you ruin my wedding like this?" Do you think your father planned to have a heart attack and almost die? Who plans that? What do you mean? What do you freaking mean? How could you ruin it? Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize for having a freaking heart attack on your wedding day. Oh my gosh. That's just like, I can't even fathom that. I can't even process that someone would react that way. We had this bride freak out that her cake wasn't right and proceeded to smash it to bits with her fist. She smashed the wrong cake, like WTF. Anyways, the cops allowed her to wash her hands before placing her in handcuffs. I felt bad for the future husband and the couple that ordered said cake. People are cray cray. Oh, so I think she did that probably, like maybe, did she go to pick up the cake? I'm confused. Where was the cake? Anyways, not the point. She destroyed someone else's cake that wasn't even hers. So you ruined someone else's wedding day. Thanks so much. I can't believe like that's how they would react. Like smash a cake. What a waste. And like so many, like people put so much time into those cakes. Come on. The bride sent out a list of approved fake tans that the bridesmaids could choose from and a list of ones not to use. Whatever, if people want to use fake tans, but it's not even about which ones to use, because if you say they did the best one, but you have 5 different girls, everyone's skin is so different and everyone's skin will take differently no matter what spray tan it is. Like, trust me from experience. Everyone's skin is different. You have no idea how your body or your skin's gonna react to that. The bride asked me to dye my hair brown for the wedding because she wanted to be the only blonde. What? No. I hope you freaking said hell no. I think you're all right with me being blonde. That doesn't affect your wedding. I'm not dyeing my freaking hair, I'll tell you that. That's like a brunette friend being like, Jocelyn, will you dye your hair blonde because I want to be the only brunette? I'd be like, no. Like even if they bought me a wig, I still don't even think I would wear it. At the risk of sounding entitled, I have to vent today. When we invited our friends and family to our destination wedding in Thailand, only 9 people RSVP'd out of 150. Okay, I get it. Paying $3K to share my special day is too much for some of you. I'd pay for yours, but whatever. Of course you'd be upset that only 9 people out of 150 could make it there, but at the same time, you can't get mad when like $3,000, some people don't have, you know, and if that's just per person, there's people who have families, children, they're married, they have obligations at work. Like some people, I couldn't swing $3 grand right now. Are you crazy? That's so much money. I don't have that. Bruh, I shop at Dollarama. I ain't living that life. Like I would still like love to celebrate with you before or after and buy you a lovely gift. And you know, that's just such a tricky situation. I had an ectopic pregnancy. and I almost bled to death. She got engaged shortly following. When she asked me to be her bridesmaid, she told me I must wait to try to have another baby until after her wedding in 1.5 years, because if I had lost another child, it would take away from her wedding. Excuse me? People like this exist in the world? That scares me. That actually scares me that someone like that exists in this world and actually said that to you. That is so messed up. I hope y'all are ending these friendships because these are not friends. I like how you're like my best friend. No, that is not even a decent human being. Like, you're not a good person. That's insane. Once got uninvited to a wedding because the couple had picked lavender for the flowers, and I informed the couple I was incredibly allergic to lavender. They wanted the flowers more than me. The disinvite was framed as them looking out for my health. Oh, damn. So do you uninvite the one person or do you change all of your flowers? That is a hard situation though. Cause like, what if you have filled your freaking place with lavender, like filled that sucker, paid thousands of dollars. Like how much notice in advance did you give them? Cause if you gave them notice, like if this person's close to you, like can't you change the flowers? But at the same time, like, I don't know. I specifically asked for cash gifts. How could we have our wedding that we dreamed of without proper funding? We'd sacrificed so much and only asked each guest for around $1,500. We talked to a few people who even promised us more to make our dream come true. My maid of honor, who shall not be named, pledged $5,000 along with her planning services. We tearfully thanked and accepted. My ex's family offered to contribute $3,000, so our request for $1,500 for all other guests was not effing out of the ordinary. Like, we made it clear, if you couldn't contribute, you weren't invited to our exclusive wedding. It's once in a lifetime party. Yeah, don't invite me to this wedding. I would RSVP as hell no. You're crazy. Bless your maid of honor for giving you $5,000 plus everything else. $1,500, you're asking that? First of all, don't ask for a price at a wedding. That is so tacky and wrong in my opinion. Like, you should be happy if I give you $50 freaking dollars. Oh my gosh, $1,500. Like, that's freaking rent. Are you crazy? I realize this may be a controversial post. Ooh, I love me some controversial posts. But I'm looking for feedback, positive or negative, hopefully more positive. My FH and I are getting to send our second round of invites since we were postponed from 4/4 to 10/24. We are thinking about adding a line in it stating, we will have lots of hand sanitizer available, but if you feel it's necessary to wear a mask to our celebration, we respectfully ask you to decline to set the tone. My FH and I have pretty strong feelings about COVID and do not want masks at our wedding. Should we add the line or another one more elegantly stated, or leave it off? I just don't think the opinion of COVID should affect your wedding day. Whether someone shows up with a mask to protect them or their family, like, I don't think your belief should really be the main factor of your wedding day. Because just because you don't believe in masks and stuff like that, like, what if there's someone out there who lost a parent to COVID? Like, I know people who lost family members and parents to COVID. Like, what if I lost my dad to COVID and I wanted to wear a mask to your wedding? I couldn't come? Such a Karen mask thing to do though. It's annoying. All right guys, well those are some crazy brides, man. I don't agree with half of that. I went on a rant. Before I get out of here though, I'm doing today's Sassy shout out and it goes to Eric Rusu. And they said, oh Joss, the word hyperbole is pronounced like this, hyperbole. Yeah, you're gonna realize very quickly on this channel, I don't know. I mispronounce things all the time. Every day. I probably mispronounced your last name, to be honest. It is what it is. Thank you for the lesson. I appreciate it. Hyperbole. Now I know. Cool. Not the brightest crayon in the box, if you know what I mean. If you guys want to be the next Sassy shout out, make sure you guys are writing things down below. I'm getting out of here though. Stay classy out there. Be nice to people, maybe, especially on their wedding day. Like, and be sassy. Always. Bye. If I ever get married. Check my battery level, sorry. Bride of a destined construction. Okay, as I was saying, oh, my back's broken. Hold on, I'm gonna move. My head looks so small when I sit back. Oh, that's better. Hold on, someone is messaging me. If you, my FH? Huh? FH. What does that mean? Fiance, husband? Huh? Whatever. Okay. Sassy shout out time. One of my closest friends from college had asked me to be her bridesmaid, and during the mandatory bridesmaid meeting, she warned us not to show up at her wedding looking like a bunch of coked out. She meant wearing natural makeup. What? Okay, I won't show up to your wedding looking like a bunch of coked out. Like, what does that mean? She meant wearing natural makeup as in like wear natural makeup, or does wearing natural makeup make you look like a coked out? No, she wants you wearing natural makeup, right? I don't know what makeup makes someone look like that. My cousin made her bridal party, which included my kids, pose for pictures in the pouring rain. She and the groom were the only ones with umbrellas. As a bridesmaid, like, I would do it for you because I love you, and I guess I would feel obligated as a bridesmaid, but it makes no sense that you would be under umbrellas while everyone else just gets freaking drenched. Like, just find another place for photos. You have to think about rain. Like, everyone needs a plan B for weddings because of rain, especially if it's outside. I was maid of honor at my friend's wedding, and she originally wanted to have the wedding on the same day as my brother's wedding. So I politely told her that as much as I loved her, I could not be there. Well, she called me a few weeks later and said, since I couldn't have my wedding when I wanted to because of you, I decided to have it on your birthday. Happy birthday. First of all, I didn't tell you not to have your wedding. Like, she literally said, I just can't be there because obviously my brother, blood, is having his wedding that day. I love you, I'm sorry, I gotta be there. I didn't tell you to reschedule your entire wedding. And then on your, thank you. The bride was goth, so she insisted on having her wedding as close to Halloween as possible. Okay, I actually think that's so fun. Which is fine, except that she expected all of her bridesmaids to learn calligraphy and handwrite all of her invitations. We even got hand cramps and burns on our fingers from having to seal them with hot wax. That just seems like so much unnecessary work. Like, you can literally, like, if I was the bridesmaid, I would be like, girls, let's all just pitch in and let's pay someone to professionally do this for us. That's a lot to ask. Yeah, like, I totally get you want to theme your wedding, but online, baby, go to Staples, print it off. I don't know one person who's ever like handmade their wedding invitations. I live in Texas, and the rest of the bridal party lived in Michigan. Well, the bride was upset that I was too tan next to her and the other bridesmaids, so everyone was required to get spray tans to match. I mean, I understand, like, in photos it might look a little weird if someone's like super tan, but like at the same time, who cares? Someone could just go on vacation before your wedding and get really freaking tanned. I don't know, because spray tans, first of all, do not settle nicely on everyone. That's a risk you're taking, because some girls turn out orange, some turn out blotchy, even when you get them professionally done. 3 months before my high school best friend's wedding, I ended up in a coma for 3.5 weeks and underwent emergency open heart surgery. That's a lot to take in. This video is not meant to be this serious. Well, after I got out of the hospital, I told my friend that I wouldn't be able to stand in her wedding, but that I would try to still attend. She responded that she was disappointed God hadn't healed me by then, and said that I must not have had enough faith. Go to hell. That's what I would say. I'd say you can go to hell. You want to talk to me about God and faith? Well, God, shun her to the gates of hell, because what the I don't think it's the faith. You can be disappointed in God then for having healed me, but trust me, I'm sure she is equally as disappointed that God did not heal her in time. Trust me. I was in a wedding in which the bride and bridesmaids all had matching dresses. Well, the bride, who was much larger than I am, demanded that my dress be altered to fit her so that the tag on her dress would say my smaller size instead of hers. Who cares? I'm so confused. Who is looking at the tags and the sizes of the dress? Everyone's body is different. I feel like when you put a group of like whatever, 7 or 8, whatever, bridesmaids, no, everyone's body is gonna be different sizes, different shapes. Like, huh? What? Is this what weddings are like? I don't wanna be in one. I couldn't attend my friend's last minute destination wedding because I had to travel to visit my dad, who was dying of cancer. I'm so sorry. To handle hospice arrangements. She was pissed and tried to guilt trip me because I couldn't afford both plane flights. That was the end of our friendship. As it should be. Absolutely. Well, that was a good call on your end, because that is not a friend. Listen, I understand wedding days are super important. Absolutely. But nothing is more important than family and your parents and possibly the loss of a parent and the suffering of a parent. Even if like someone was like, oh, I'll pay for your flight. It's like, that's a very difficult time I'm going through. I'm not really worried about like a flight to your wedding. I think I have bigger things to be worried about here. The bride stopped talking to me immediately after her wedding because I had a terrible cold the day of her wedding and had to go rest in my room halfway through setting up her wedding decorations, which we bridesmaids made without her help. I mean, I don't think that's something to like stop talking to someone over. Like, oh, friendship's over. You had a cold on my wedding day and you had to take some time to go rest in the room because you felt like absolute garbage. Like, is it worth ruining your friendship over? Probably not. Like, I understand you're upset because you want them a part of your wedding, but I'm sure they don't want to feel that crappy. I was a maid of honor for my brother's wedding in which he and his bride told me they had hired a professional photographer for the wedding. So I went above and beyond to make myself up for the photos, only to find out that they hadn't actually hired a photographer. They expected me to take all the wedding photos. I'm sorry, what? As the maid of honor, I'm playing the photographer too? Oh, I would not want to do that because number one, I don't want the pressure of taking someone's wedding photos because those are everything. Two, I want to be in the pictures with you. You know, and three, I'm not a freaking photographer. What do you mean? What do you mean? This is crazy talk. My wife's best friend is a florist and she gifted her services to my friend's wedding. Well, afterward, the bride and her mom got pissy at her because she didn't give them an additional gift. Conveniently forget the $1,000 in floral products she gifted to the wedding. It's a rift that has never been healed. The flowers are a gift. Like, first of all, I can only imagine what flowers cost on the day of a wedding because I go to weddings and damn, there's flowers everywhere. There is more flowers than guests, okay? So that is your gift. That is their work, that is their money, that is their business that they're literally gifting you. I don't even get how people get mad at any type of wedding gift things. She wouldn't let our friend, who had breast cancer and was in chemotherapy, sit down after walking down the aisle. You're kidding. I would sit on the floor. What? No, it's really not a discussion. It's really not a discussion. If I was going through something as horrible as that, I'm sitting. Shame on you. You should feel ashamed of yourself. Like, who raised you? After the ceremony was over, the brides informed us that in order to save money, the wedding party wouldn't be served a meal along with the rest of the guests. She said, you already had the privilege of being in my wedding. What more could you ask for? Food. Let me get this straight. So they do everything that day. They basically act as your, like, not your maid or your slave, but like, they're at your beck and call all day. They make this entire day for you. They've done all the planning and everything up until this day. They do everything and they don't even get a meal. I'd be Uber Eatsing so fast, y'all, or I would leave and go through McDonald's drive-thru. Like, there's no way I'm not eating. All right, guys, well, those are some brides who acted like Karens on their wedding day. If you know any bridezillas, tell me in the comments. Maybe I could even use some of these stories in future videos. That'd be fun. So if you know bridezilla or anything like that, you write that stuff down below. I will keep my eyes out. Before I get out of here though, I'm doing today's sassy shout out and it goes to Angry Matter 13 LA. They said, when I was in 7th grade, I told my girlfriend that we were breaking up and she told me, no, we are not breaking up because I said so. I like her demanding that, nope, we're not breaking up. We like each other. We're staying together. Did you stay with her? I'm just curious. Like, I guess you had been walking around being like, yeah, we broke up. And then she'd be walking around being like, no, we didn't. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. Stay safe out there. Stay classy, stay sassy, and on your friends' wedding days. And if you're a bride, Lord have mercy. Enjoy your day. Don't stress about the little things. Damn. Goodbye. This is brides who acted like Karens on their wedding day, part 2. I honestly don't even remember if I've done intros for some of these videos, so. My hair's driving me nuts. And this lighting is as well. It's not like auto-focusing with the lighting. It's kind of being an a-hole. Look at this little, focus on my face. Hello? Okay, you can kiss my ass. I was up just at like 1 a.m. and then my body woke me up at 3 a.m. and I thought like it was time to get up because I was so awake, and then I looked and it was 3:05 and I'm like, oh my God. And then I got up at 6 and worked out and now I'm working. She reached out after the wedding to ask me how to return my gift for store credit. That's so awkward. Like, listen, I totally get returning gifts. Maybe you got like the same thing. Maybe you really won't use it, but I just feel like you gotta do it like privately somehow, like, you know, talk to the store and be like, hey, I got this wedding gift. Anyway, I can return it. Like blatantly after your wedding, being like, hey, can I get some store credit for that gift you got me? Surely there's a different way to go about it where it doesn't make that person feel like complete. It was 10 degrees Fahrenheit. It was 10 degrees Fahrenheit in February, and the bride insisted on outdoor photos without coats because we can't hide the dresses. Even the photographer told her no, and she pitched a fit. She had a fit? Yo, have you not heard of hypothermia? Take it from someone who lives in Canada. 10 degrees Fahrenheit is frickin' freezing. I wouldn't want like big bulky coats by all means, but you could always have them order like ones that went with the dresses, outdoor heaters if you're gonna insist on that. I just feel like that's a bit much. Or have your wedding in frickin' summer if you want outdoor photos. The bride, who is one of my best friends and very frugal, asked me and her other bridesmaids to hand make all of her wedding decorations. Halma is right. What am I, Martha frickin' Stewart? What do you mean hand make all your wedding decorations? I am all for some DIY, and Dollarama is my jam. So I am crafty and cheap, I get it. Absolutely, you could make some really cute tabletop decor, little things like that from Dollarama, fine. All of your decorations handmade, and how big is your wedding? Since when do bridesmaids make all of the decorations? Is that a thing? Not at my wedding, it won't be. I lost some weight between the time I agreed to be a bridesmaid and the wedding. Well, the bride threw me out of the wedding party because she wanted to be the skinny one on the stage. Terrible. That is so freaking terrible. Are you kidding? Listen, no one is looking at your bridesmaids. Like when you're a bride, all the attention is on you. It doesn't matter if you're the skinniest one up there or have the biggest boobs or you're the hottest one, because there's a very good chance that my bridesmaids are gonna be 10 times hotter than me on my wedding day. I have very hot friends. Everyone's gonna be staring at me though. I'm the bride. It just comes with it. You get the spotlight naturally. My ex-best friend tried to make me and another bridesmaid walk down the uneven outdoor aisle without our glasses. Said they would ruin the aesthetic of her wedding. Sorry, I'm gonna need to remove your sight because it ruins the aesthetic of my wedding. I can't. That is the most Karen thing I've ever heard in my life. Oh my God. And you can't even be like, do you mind wearing contacts? Because there are some people who like literally cannot wear contacts and have like a fear of putting things in their eyes and they're not, like they just won't do it. I wouldn't. If my friend Dare said that to me, I would laugh in their face and say, guess we're not as close as we thought we were, because like there's no way I'm saying yes to a bridezilla. That would make me just want to show up with glasses and do it on purpose. The bride had 16 bridesmaids and she wanted 16 different style of dresses in 16 different shades of blue for each of the bridesmaids. She threw a fit when the store didn't have quite that many options. Are you serious? Were you surprised? Literally? I can think of like maybe 4 different shades of blue. 16. You do not need a wedding party of 16. I am sorry. I have a lot of friends. I have freaking like 3 sisters alone on my side. Like, oh my God, yeah, I could have a lot of freaking bridesmaids. 16 different shades of blue, y'all. This wedding stuff is getting out of control. Like, we need to put a cap on it. Weddings should not be this crazy. My best friend just got kicked out of a wedding because she couldn't afford to spend the $1,500 to go to the bachelorette party. The bride told her to take out a credit card to pay for it. Oh, okay, Karen, sure, let me just take on some extra debt. Like, I'm so glad you decided that I should take out an extra credit card. Man, if they can't afford it, it should just be that. Not everyone can afford these things. Oh my God, weddings and being involved in weddings is very expensive, even on cheap weddings, okay? Because you gift and then you're doing things for them and then you have the bachelorette and then you're taking on extra finances for the bride sometimes. Like at their parties, you go for anything. It's like, that adds up. She had her bachelorette party the same weekend as my birthday, but we weren't allowed to do anything for my birthday on the trip, not even mention it. Oof, I saw that coming. Well, on my actual birthday, some of my friends got some balloons and a little cake from the hotel. They tried to keep it a secret, but bridezilla came into the room, saw everything, went completely silent, then walked out pissed. That is so dramatic. Like, I totally get, let's not overshadow the weekend with your birthday, because birthdays come every year, weddings come once in your life, if you're lucky, not with today's statistics, but on their birthday, being like, here, blow out some candles, here's a balloon, let's celebrate both of us today. It's a whole freaking weekend that you're like celebrating. You can have a moment, like, happy birthday, happy you're here, let's get drunk together, call it a day. She kicked someone out of the wedding party who couldn't make it bridesmaid dress shopping because she was sick and had to go to the hospital. So we're gonna start needing like sick notes for weddings. Like, do I need to call in sick and provide a doctor's note for you to keep me in your wedding party? I am so lucky I have lit friends. That's all I gotta say. Count your blessings. My friends are lit. The final straw for me was when the bride demanded to see the toast I'd written so she could edit it. You might as well just write it at that point. That defeats the whole point. Come on. Come on. Like, I understand if they said, hey, here's some things I just don't want you to mention in it, blah, blah, blah. Give me a few pointers so I respect your boundaries, because, you know, humor might be different, but you might as well just write it yourself with what you want me to say if I have to like give it to you to proofread. Before my transition, I was a bridesmaid for my best friend, and apparently she simply expected me to suddenly be girlier for her wedding. She all of a sudden got mad that I had short hair and couldn't wear an updo for her wedding. Like, really, does appearance matter that much to you? That says more about you than anything. Who cares what your bridesmaids look like? You chose them for who they are and who they are in your life, not for their looks. Clearly not, but you should. I was pregnant and was asked to be in a family member's wedding, which was 4 weeks from my due date. Well, I went out of state to visit my significant other's family when I was 6 months pregnant and received a scathing group email from her accusing me of not being committed to the wedding because I was out spending money on a pointless vacation and baby stuff instead of ordering my dress. Not your place. You can't decide what someone spends their money on. And if visiting their spouse's family and preparing for a child comes before a wedding dress, that is not up to you. I'm sure they were gonna have a wedding dress, you know, but like 4 weeks from her due date, anything could happen. She could go into freaking labor by then. Like, her dress won't even fit her the same if she has a baby before then, because she'll be trying on dresses pregnant and then oh my God, come on now. My best friend got mad at me that I was away at college while she was planning her wedding because she thought I should be there with her instead. Why not? Let me put all my life plans on hold. Screw college, who needs an education? My friend's getting married. It's called FaceTime. That's a very good thing. Skype, Facebook Messenger, phone. Like, you can literally be there along the way so much now. I was my sister's maid of honor at one point, and I was in Toronto and she was in Windsor, and that's a 4-hour difference, and I could still handle my tasks. All right, guys, well, those are some entitled bridesmaids who acted like Karens on their wedding day. Before I get out of here, I'm doing today's Sassy shout out, and it goes to Donita White. They said, since when is it the bridesmaid's responsibility to do the wedding invitations? That's what I'm wondering, but not just do the wedding invitations, like hand make them. I won't even hand make my own. Are you crazy? I would literally rather use paint on my desktop and print them myself than hand make them. Like, that's absurd. Thank you so much. I will see you guys in another video. Bye. Make sure there's nothing in my teeth like that one video. What is going on, you guys? Well, actually, I'm not going to do my intro. Actually, I will do my intro and then you can cut away to the sponsorship. Okay? No, that's a lie. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do it all in one so it flows better. No, forget it. I'm gonna do my intro and then we can do a cutaway like, but before we get into the video, you know? Okay, cool. Glad we had this talk. Are you kidding? This damn cleaner is gonna vacuum my condo hall right now. Right out front of my door. I'm gonna keep going. I hope you can't hear that. Have you even subscribed to the channel yet? Don't be a fake fan. Hit that subscribe button. You know you want to.